Midnight Muses here, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to be doing one of my just talking to the camera, doing a whole kind of update, mental health, that kind of thing, because it really has been way too long since I have done one. I'm wearing, obviously you can see the same look from when I did my Ipsy unboxing. I did change my hair. I took out my extensions and I used that Sutra curling wand that I got from my Boxy Luxe, which I really love, just because I already had my hair straight and I knew that would be a great time to try it. And as I thought, with my hair straighter, it did like a really cool look. It has that beachy wave. You can't see it so much because my hair is so dark, but it's so nice. It gave it so much volume. It looks so pretty. So works really well when my hair is straighter, but just when it's super kinky, it's too curly. It looked messy, but I love how it looks now. So as I said, I knew I'd be happy with it. I'm very happy with it, but that's not the subject of today's video. I'm not really doing the beauty stuff for this video. As you can see, my face is very much done. I'm so in love with the look that I created with the lip palette that I got from the Ipsy. I can't wait to try out way more different variations on it. But again, already walking back into that makeup world. I live in that world so strongly, but I did want to do an update on my mental health because it's been a long time, and for a long time that was basically the only videos that I did. Every now and again I would do a makeup, but they were all mental health. And I know that with my channel I didn't want it to be stuck in one box. I was going to do makeup. I'm a makeup artist, like that's going to be a part of it, but then I am also an avid book reader, and I keep talking about how I want to do book reviews. I really need to get on doing that. I'm just about finished my 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle because I've finally, again, going into the whole mental health route, I've not been giving myself the time to read, and between my birthday and just last week when I showed that book that Sean got me, I've been getting books that I'm desperate to break into that I've never read, but I won't let myself because I haven't finished that one yet. And yeah, I have like 7 on the go, but most of the other ones, honestly, I've already read, or they're just short stories like that are in a compilation. So it's not the same. Like that's my like new book, also by a new author that I really, well, I don't know if the author's new, but new for me, and I really want to get through it because I really love it, and the more I've read it, the more I've loved it. So part of my mental health that I've started from this week is that I am now actively giving myself chunks of time for my reading. It's the reason why I haven't been reading is really quite simple. Is I think it was kind of midway through to the end of June-ish area where I got my okay to go back to work. I did have my stipulations where I was not allowed to go back to a former company or to someone that I previously worked with, which a lot of people in my personal life have been kind of confused about as to why that is. It's really quite simple, really, is I was not supposed to be able to go back to work until 2021, but I am doing far better than my doctors thought that I would. And I think that's just because I do stick to treatment plans. I've gone to every appointment I've ever needed to. I've actively looked into anything I can do, any other programs, any other ways of learning how to cope, and then actively putting them into my daily life. I've really gone above and beyond because I'm so dedicated and so focused that getting my life back together this time, I want to do it in the best way possible. I don't want to kind of half-ass it, I guess, where it's like, okay, well, I'm doing good enough for now, so that'll do, so I'll go back to work and just hopefully be able to deal with something that happens down the road. I want to make sure that going back, my bases are covered. So if something happens, I know how to handle it. And at the very least, if it's something that I know is going to be difficult for me, that I know what steps I need to take to, again, just be able to handle it in a more, I want to say, safe manner, better manner, all kinds of different ways, because the last time when I was going under, it was to a point where I just couldn't deal anymore, and then I just couldn't work, couldn't do anything. Whereas now, like, if something really major happens in my life, I know that I'll be in a place where I know coping mechanisms that work really well for me. I have, even though I no longer have to go to regular therapy, I do still have 2 of them on call, including my family doctor who said I could go in at any time. And I feel, and I know that because I'm stronger with who I am, that if I need to have a personal day because I'm going through a really bad struggle, I'm not scared to ask for that anymore, whereas before I was. Which isn't to say that I'm the kind of person who's going to go back to work and be like, oh, having a bad day today, gonna need to take a me day. I'm not one of those people. When I say that, I mean in terms of crisis. Like if I've lost someone close to me or if there's a family emergency, I would work through those and just be like, well, I have to work. Well, no, you don't. And if your boss makes you think that you do, then you're in the wrong place. And I don't even think they can for most of the situations that I still worked through. But again, part of that was me not asking, or when I was saying it was kind of like I wasn't acting as if it was the emergency that it was. I was downplaying. There was only a couple situations where they're like, well, there's no one to cover you, so you're going to have to just figure it out and be here. And I was like, are you serious? But again, reason why I can't go back to my old workplace is because, yeah, I'm going back earlier than I was originally planning to. And so they're just trying to keep their bases covered. Also, the place that I used to work at, it did definitely change. I don't want to go into it. I don't want to talk about where I worked. I don't want to talk about anybody that I did work with. But I did go back, and just with the situation that I was back there in, it wasn't a healthy environment for me, just because, one, I couldn't really work very much, and the place itself had changed a lot, and it was just, I ended up getting really bad anxiety and going off again. So they're like, we're not going to take that chance. That's off the docket. If you want to go back to work, we support you 100%, but these are going to be your limitations. And honestly, I'm happy for them because I'm very much in need of a change. Now, here's why I haven't been talking about my whole going back to work journey as much as I was originally planning to. I was doing a whole series about it, is because I've never had this much trouble finding a job before. And I know that sounds kind of weird to say because it's really common, especially being a millennial, to have difficulty finding a job, but I never have, not to this degree. Usually before I'd be like, okay, well, you know what, I'm not working right now, but I want to enjoy my summer, so I'm going to enjoy my summer, and then come September, I'll get a job. And like, just like that, I've always been good. I've always been good at getting interviews, passing interviews, getting jobs. I'm struggling, and it's not, and I don't even know how to explain it. It's so weird. I've gotten a lot of leads. I've actually gotten I actually had somebody already tell me that I had a job, and then just never called me, and even went in, they're like, yeah, you're gonna hear from us tomorrow, and yeah, they still haven't called, and that was in, like, I think the first week of July, and we're going towards the end of September now, so yeah, I'm not really waiting around for that. And then I had another lead somewhere else, and again, haven't heard back. So it's just one of those things where I'm not used to that. And I think in that way, I've been kind of spoiled. I am a good talker when it comes to just meeting people and interacting, but it's just such a different job market. And again, I am looking a little bit more out of my field than usual, and I think that's coming into play as well. But also another thing is everything is online. I am used to being able to walk into anywhere with my resume and say, here, I'm looking for a job. This is my availability, whatever. These are my qualifications, whatever. Okay, you want to come in and talk to me at this time? Perfect. Okay, then you're going to start this day. That's how everything has always gone for me. Now this whole, well, if you want a job, you have to put your life online, and they'll go through your resumes and pick you out there. And don't get me wrong, I have a good resume. I'm good at writing them. I've got good qualifications. I'm educated, all that kind of stuff. And I even have a job counselor, and she said that, like, she didn't have to edit my resume at all. I'm very good at writing it, which makes sense. I've always been an English major. But at the same time, each job really needs a different resume. So having a base resume that you're just mass sending out doesn't work very well. I do have a couple that I've been going through, but it's still, you don't have that personal interaction, and it's really frustrating because I found that even if I didn't have a resume that 100% suited the job that I was going after, I could talk to them about, like, personal experiences that I've had in that field or whatever, and it would make up that difference. Or they would just get to talk to me and get a feel for me and see if they liked my first impression kind of personality off the bat, and that would take me very far as well. So not having that aspect at like 99% of the places that I'm applying to has been difficult. I actually went into one, and it's funny because they loved my personality. They said, oh, you're so great for this job. They're like, unfortunately, you have to apply online. And I haven't heard back, and it sucks because every time I've been there, like, oh, have you heard anything yet? Have you heard anything yet? They want me to work there, but because their manager has to find my application online, I haven't got, like, it hasn't been picked, probably because my resume doesn't technically match up to the job that I applied for, but I know how to do that kind of a job. It's just I don't have like classic work experience, or the work experience that I do have is like from 10 years ago and not something that I have on my current resume. So it's very difficult. It's been very frustrating. It has done a lot for my mental health, both in a negative and a positive way. In a negative way, obviously, because we're getting into September. I've been trying to get a job since June. I'm beyond broke at this point, and that's been really, really hard for me. Not just the lack of money, but just that feeling of failure is so strong. Like, it's so strong. It is really hard to just not cry all the time. And I do let myself cry. I've become far more emotional than I ever thought I could be. Therapy has really helped me in that way. And I do say help because it is so important and to let your emotions out. And it is a sign of strength, not of weakness, which I tell myself all the time, because to me, I still feel like it's a weakness, but it's like, no, it is strength. Let yourself cry. I don't let myself cry all day, but like usually there'll be like evenings, more than I'd like to admit, but usually in the evening. But I time it. I was like, okay, you want to be mopey and upset that things haven't been working out your way? This is your hour, mope away. But after that, okay, let's get back to work. Let's pop back on Indeed. Let's start going through resumes again. Let's email the job counselor and see what else we can find. Let's just keep it going. I've been making sure that I keep up with my painting. I've been making sure, well, not as much of my painting, but like painting towards certain very particular projects, not just like my fun painting. I've been trying to do as much of my YouTube as I can, just because for me that's a healthy outlet, but then also it does get me a little bit of notice via social media, which, I mean, again, being in the beauty industry, social media is the only way to go at this point. And I'm so grateful for the fact that I've gone from having an average of 4 views per video all the way up to like 12 and 16 as my average views now. So it's actually, I think it is 16 as my average views for my current video. So I'm so happy for that. I think that making them a little bit more makeup related has given me that boost. But I'm definitely going to be continuing to do videos like these where I talk about how I'm doing and making sure that I keep to those original roots that I said when I created my channel over 1.5 years ago, that I didn't want to be in a bubble, and I don't. I'm going to keep talking about mental health because it is still such a incredibly important topic for me. Obviously, I suffer from it so much, but I'm one of those people who does not look like I do, and so I want to put a face on people that are high functioning, because we get the least help and tend to be the ones that fall the hardest because of that. And it's not right. And then not only that, is even for people who look like they suffer terribly, still have a hard time getting help. So I'm definitely an advocate for anyone who is suffering, and always an ear for people to talk to whenever they need it. But what I was saying before was that it's been a blessing and a curse, this whole not having a job for 3 months, because it's also taught me how to deal with a higher increase of stress and how I'm actually going to handle it, because I did go into this thinking that I would have a job within a couple of weeks, and that did not happen. I've been bad. I did go back to smoking because the stress really did get back to me. I'm now back to working my way down again. I'm doing quite well with it at the moment. There was a minute there where I was going through a pack a day, but that really only lasted for, I'm going to say, week and a half. I don't even think it was 2 weeks. Like, I feel like it was really under the 2 week mark, and then it was like, hang on a minute, you spent so much time trying to quit this habit. Just because you're stressed out does not, mean you should be doing this. And also, with the level of like no funds that you have, what the hell is wrong with you? And it's one of those things where the more stressed, the more you want to do this thing, which makes you have less money, which makes you more stressed, which makes you want to do it more. It's just this never-ending horrible cycle. So I'm back on trying to stop and going back to things that I can do that really actually make me feel better. I've gone back to having my protein shakes, going for my walks, working out. And another thing that I had also stopped doing for a while was on the days when I wasn't out job hunting, because as I said, most of it is online, I was back in just wearing like short shorts and oversized t-shirts and just like comfortable stuff, but stuff that I would never be caught dead leaving my house in. And I've gone back to, no, you're getting up in the morning, you're getting dressed in whatever makes you feel really good that day. You're going to do your makeup, your hair, whatever. You're going to look good. You're going to have your coffee. You're going to do what you can. You're going to make sure you take your medication on time. You're going to make sure that you take the vitamins that you need, your supplements, everything. And you're going to act as if you have a job, basically. And that's been helping me the most. I've also gone back to, in terms of my smoking, my what helped me quit the best was no smoking out of the house, no smoking in the car, and limiting the amount that I can have each week. So it's like, okay, well, you can have 5 today, and you can do that for the week. Next week, okay, you can have 4 a day, and then 3 a day, and so on. And what I found last time was that when I got to that like 2-3 mark, I was completely finished with it. So I'm working my way towards that right now. As I said, it's going all right, going pretty good. So that part's good. But yeah, overall, it's been kind of a rocky road. Feeling better, handling things better. Each day is actually getting better for me, even though my stress hasn't decreased. My ability to handle it has increased. So it's one of those things where as I said, it sucks. I am not remotely where I want to be right now, and you know, the wedding and getting a home with Sean is just looming over me like crazy. It's so difficult sometimes, but at the same time, I know this is a journey, and I know that at some point, things will work out. I have a friend that's getting me to do some editing for her, which has been truly a lifesaver, because, I mean, you're not really making tons of money doing it. But I mean, literally every dollar is like... So the first time she gave me a little bit of money, and the second time, I cried like buckets of tears because I was so incredibly grateful. And she's been so amazing. She actually came and spent a night, and we did a whole bunch of computer stuff, because I'm not the most tech savvy person ever, but I love writing and I love things, and she knows what I'm good at. And so my thing with technology, we had a discussion about it, is I will learn how to use it in a way that helps better my life. And that sounds kind of like, oh, I don't care, but it's more of the way that my brain works is if I'm not interested in it, it's going to go in one ear and out the other. And that's how I've always been. No matter how hard I try to retain certain information, some things just don't stick. And I find with me, technology is one of those things where if it's not something where it's like, oh, I can use this, it just out. So she's really been helping to essentially retrain my brain to be like, okay, but if you learn how to do this thing, this is going to help you, and it'll help you in this way, and then you can take that and then learn this other thing, and then that will help you in this way. And it's been so amazing. I'm so grateful for her. And she's having her own hard times too, so it's kind of like, I got you. I love women supporting women. It's the best thing ever, and she's opened avenues for me that I never thought I could do, so I'm so grateful for that. But in terms of, like, you know, the regular 9-to-5 thing, that's been my big struggle. I've been applying to so many things that I never thought I would, but I am. And also a big thing that I've been doing this time, which is something that I have never done, and hang on, because my camera's gonna stop. So another thing that I'm doing that I've never done before, that actually my job counselor, at the time I had 2, now I have 1, just because 1 moved locations, talked to me about, and I didn't realize that I was doing, was I always was looking for what they considered to be survival jobs. And don't get me wrong, there would be jobs in my field or jobs that I enjoyed or with people that I enjoyed. But they were jobs that gave you the lowest amount of money. I usually work my way up, but like the lowest amount of money to start, and never benefits. I've never had benefits in my entire life. I think except for when I worked at Tim Hortons. I had benefits then. I was full-time there. But even when I've had other jobs that were like, oh yeah, it's like, what is it they called it? Like permanent part-time. You'd work full-time hours, but they'd drop you an hour, so you would be just under that. Like that's been my life. And so now, especially with the help of my job counselor, and also with the help of I'll say Amy. I love you. If you see this, I love you, Amy, so much. She's the one that's been helping with the computer stuff and the editing. I have learned to find a self-worth in myself that I've never seen before. And I'm no longer accepting things that are below what I'm worth. Now, in terms of survival, if I get something that's like on the fly, that's like a temporary thing, that's different. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like a long-term position. I'm being so much more okay, well, if you cannot guarantee me this in writing by this time or whatever, then it's not going to work for me. If you're not offering this kind of paycheck by this particular time in writing, it's not going to work for me. And my job comes really good because she's like, you know, you're really educated, you're very smart, you're very detail oriented, and you clearly work very hard. Why have you been accepting these kind of jobs? And I had no answer for her. I had no answer. It was like, I don't know, it's just the easiest job I could get, I guess. So she's like, well, stop taking the easy route. You know, get your survival job, fine, make it a temporary thing. But she goes, but do not stop looking for something bigger and something better. So my job hunting is like a weird mix of like finding something that, yeah, might not pay too much, but it's something that I can hopefully get quickly and just do that while I'm getting something else, while also looking for that something else. So we'll see what happens first. Obviously, if I get the, you know, higher wages benefits job here, we're going to ignore down here. But if we go down here, I'm going to keep looking up here, and I'll let you guys know how I go with each of those. It is difficult because one thing that I'm definitely very big on is never saying where I work, never saying who I work with, like anything. Like I'm definitely always going to keep that confidential. Even when it comes to my job counselor, I will not say where they're from, any of that, because that's my private life. And as much as I put how I feel about things and all of that on social media, and I'm fine with that, there are certain things that I'll keep private, in the same way that I wouldn't post a video when I was home alone for a week because I didn't want to not have access to my phone. And also, like, even I don't think that I said that I was home alone, but I was, just in case I didn't want to post it while I was home alone, so that people wouldn't know, because it's all about safety. It's like, even when I go on trips, I don't say that I've gone on the trip until I'm home from the trip and I was like, oh yeah, I had a great vacation. Or like, it's just, I don't know, some things I think should stay private, some things go on social. But one thing that I've learned, and I think this is part of being in the like older millennial age, is don't put your work online. Do not put how you feel about your work online. Oh my gosh, the amount of people, like, and friends of mine who are a little bit younger, where it's like, they will just go off, not about like the exact location that they're at, but they will go off about how crappy their job is. And it's like, you know, chances are your boss is seeing that, and you can get fired for things like that. It's really fun because my job counselor was like, oh my gosh, you're talking about like finding work and stuff. She's like, you might want to not do that so much while you're job hunting. And it's like, I understand that, and absolutely. And if I was talking about my previous job, the people there, whatever, I would absolutely be like, I get it, cut it, don't do that. But that is something that I've always been very strong with, was don't talk about that. So while, as I said, I'll talk, like, I'm bringing you guys along this journey of me trying to find a job and trying to change my life and do better with my life and do all these things, but at the same time, I'm not going to tell you everything. But I've kind of gone off on a weird tangent of this video because I haven't done one in such a long time that it's like, how do I do this again? I just sit and talk and I don't have any notes. Usually when I do mental health updates, I do like to have my notes with me. I don't have my notebook. It's actually behind this frame here. Well, not a frame, it's a photo album, but whatever. With all of my save the dates, all those boxes are my save the dates for my wedding. I'm still trying to organize that guest list, which is just driving me nuts. But again, I'm not talking about that right now. As I said, I don't think I'm going to be doing much in the way of wedding talk on here, if any. But yeah, mental health is a big up and down, trying to really focus on allowing myself to have self-care, because I got so focused on the end goal, which is get a good paying job, get yourself some benefits so you can get a home, get married, do all these things. And don't get me wrong, great goals to have, absolutely. I should be working towards this. Anyone who has a goal should be actively working towards it, but at the same time, self-care is a big thing. And one thing that I've always been prone to, I'm known for being a bit of a workaholic. I like to be like, okay, let's keep working and working. I need to be productive. I need to do this. I need to do that. And one of my things that I've been doing over the last year, I've talked about it a bit, is I've basically been packing up anything that I can that I'm not going to need for a couple of months, especially now that we're going into winter, like a lot of my summer stuff, packing it up, putting it away so that when we move, it's just that much easier to have everything ready to go. Because we don't know when we're moving. I mean, we don't have anything in mind at all. We're not even actively looking right now. But, like, I'm trying to be as ready as I can, going through all of my stuff, getting rid of stuff that I haven't used in ages. And if it's something that I love, but I just had put away because I was always prone to just putting things in bags, finding those things, being like, okay, this I actually do really want back in my life and I know I'll actively use it. You keep, the rest go. And I got really focused on that because when you were done with going through a bag or a box or whatever, you could physically look at what you've done and say, this is progress that I've made. So therefore, my day was not a waste. I can clean the bathroom. I rearranged my room one day because I just felt like it. And again, these are all things that I can physically look at and say, you've been productive. You have not wasted your day. And I love that. I live by that, absolutely. But in doing so, I got so caught up in how productive can I be and how far can I push myself that I stopped working out as often, which doesn't say I wasn't working out. And I mean, cleaning is a big workout. But I wasn't doing my cardio as much because, well, then I have to leave my house, and because I would usually go around the neighborhood a bunch of times, and I was like, I gotta leave my house, but I have so much stuff that I want to do, and I'm dressed for cleaning, I'm not dressed for working out, and the whole back and forth, and it's like, no, that's part of your self-care. Do that. And just like the reading was like the first thing out the door, because it was like, I mean, I love it, don't get me wrong, and yeah, you have a little bit of that, like, physical productivity where you can, like, look at a finished book and be like, I finished reading you, but then I would look around my room and be like, yeah, but I ain't finished cleaning that, or the bathroom's still a mess, or I haven't cooked dinner yet, or whatever it is. So that was right out the door too. TV, the amount of times that I've had people be like, oh my god, you haven't watched this yet? Yeah, come on, you're still on episode 1. How are you still on episode 1? Well, because watching TV is not productive. I love my shows, absolutely, but I went right back into the loop of watching ones that I've seen enough times that I have them basically memorized. Background noise, because I love having it as background noise. Even shows that I was trying to actively watch turned into background noise so I could get more stuff done. It was all about what can you complete, and I could not focus on anything else. I think the only downtime that I really and truly had was like my cousin Tracy, love you Tracy, she calls me on the regular, and thank you so much for how much you call me, because that is the only downtime that I've really allowed myself this whole summer. Like, Sean's been so upset that we haven't gone anywhere, we haven't done anything. Even when we've been offered like free tickets to things, I've been like, no, we're not going, because I like, it's taking out of my ability to be productive, or I don't want to have to borrow money from somebody for transit or whatever. Like, it's been horrible. I feel like I have not been the best fiance in that way, because he hasn't had as great of a summer as he could have had, because I was like, no, I'm too broke for this, and I need to put all of my work, thought, dedication into achieving my goals. And then I'd be up on him like, well, why aren't you doing more to like have a better future for us? And don't get me wrong, I still like fuss at him with that kind of stuff. I think that's just a part of who I am, but at the same time, I definitely was pushing harder than I should have. For certain things, not everything, but certain things. And I need to check myself and be like, okay, just because you're feeling this way doesn't mean that you need to let all of your anger at yourself out on somebody else. And yeah, they could be doing this or they could be doing that, but they also have to go at their own pace that works for them and find a way that works in balance with each other. Or we need to find a way that works in balance with each other, which we're usually extremely good at. As I said, I've been kind of off my rocker. I'm not used to the situation that I'm in right now. I think this could actually be the third video that I am posting for the day today. Well, not posting, but filming for the day today. I don't know when I'm going to post this one yet. I did my Ipsy, edited that thing, processed that thing. That thing is ready to go whenever I decide to put it up. This one will absolutely be edited and processed by the end of the night as well. And oh no, I did 2 today, but then I've done another 2 already this week. I did a lot more cleaning. I have been doing my reading. I've been doing more organizing. My parents came back from Korea. I've been helping my mom out because she's jet lagged, because it's a 13-hour time difference. So when I'm getting up and getting ready for the day, she's getting ready to go to bed. So she's trying to get back on track. So I've been trying to do like daytime stuff when she's exhausted to make it a little bit easier on her. And so getting back into that schedule, I still have to do some computer stuff, but now I'm just listing. I don't need to list. I'm not here to list. I can like feel my anxiety rising, despite the fact that I've had my anxiety meds for the day. Just talking about all the things that I have done and still need to do. It literally never ends. But my focus right now is you need to give yourself some downtime, and I haven't allowed myself any downtime since I gave up on that first job ever happening. But again, another thing is just because that one location didn't give me the job, I've now been like, yeah, but that's just one location. I still really like that company. So you know what? I'm gonna pull out those resumes and go to other locations. And because what happened with the one location is really and truly, I wasn't a fit for there. And it had nothing to do with my education or my knowledge or my background or my job history or anything like that. All those things were perfect. It was more a matter of me personality wise did not jive with the personalities of the people at that particular location. They were very quiet and very like very nice. And don't get me wrong, I'm nice, I'm friendly, but I'm not quiet. I'm a classic Leo. I'm quite loud. I'm quite proud of my product knowledge and of my education and my history. So if I can use it in a way that's helpful, then I absolutely will. And it's not to be a snob or to brag or to be a know-it-all. It's just I get super excited about things, especially if it's something that I really like, that it's like, oh, this is here, that's so cool. Like, and like, I love the history of this particular thing. And then I realized that, hang on, I'm like, my mom actually was like, you're not going to get a job there. And I was like, why? And she's like, you're too loud. She goes, you're too bubbly. You're just, you aren't the person. It's like, she's like, next time you go in there, just look at the people, look at how they talk and how they act, and you'll see why you'll never get that job. And I did. And don't get me wrong, as I said, they were all super nice. I am not saying anything against any of these people. For anyone who might know what the place I'm talking about, not saying anything against them. Absolutely go and shop there. As I said, it really comes down to the personalities not matching. And I did. I looked at it and you went in and they're like, oh, hi, how are you doing? Can I help you with anything? Okay, yeah, thanks. And whereas I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, you're trying to do this? Okay, let's talk about this. Like, it was so black and white difference. Like, I'm over here and they're over here, and there was no way that would have worked. And if I did get the job, it would have been a disaster. But again, that's location specific just to the group of people that are working there. They are all just more quiet people. I am not a quiet person. I don't pretend to be a quiet person. I'm shy. But I'm not quiet. But I'm weirdly shy. Like, I'm not shy around like strangers. Like if I were to get a job, I'm gonna pick somewhere that I absolutely can't work, just to make sure that it's not something that I end up possibly working. So say I get a job at McDonald's. I can't work at McDonald's because of my food allergies. But say I get a job there. I would have no problem talking to all the customers that came in the door, be like, hey, what's going on? You want this? Okay, yeah, let's go organize this for you. No problem there. Coworkers, on the other hand, people that I know I'm going to be seeing on a day-to-day basis, that's where I'm going to be shy, because that's going to be like, oh, I actually have to spend a lot of time with you, and I'm weird, and I'm super, like, optimistic and bubbly. Like, that's just a part of who I am, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I know I'm a weirdo, and don't get me wrong, most people are weirdos. Whether they hide it better than others or not is besides the fact. Most people are weird. But it's a matter of, does my weird jive with your weird? And so I tend to be really shy around new people that I know I'm going to have to be interacting with on the daily. It's a very unique form of shyness. Well, not unique form, because I know a lot of people that are shy like that too, where it's like, you're not shy, what are you talking about? But it's like, but if you put me in this specific situation, yes, I will be. It won't last very long, but I will be for like, maybe like a week or two. But it is something that tends to be pretty noticeable. But, I don't know. This has been a weird video. I'm probably going to stop it here because I don't know where it's going. But yeah, just trying to give you guys an update. I'm not working yet. I desperately wish I was. I think that's why, like, in all my makeup videos, I've complained about being broke. Well, that's why I'm broke, is because I'm still not working. But I am trying so hard. Part of my regimen of, like, be productive is I have to spend at least 4 hours per day job hunting. On the weekends, usually I'll lower it down to like 1 to 2 hours, but like I'm like 7 days a week, I need to be actively looking for work. That said, I've also been working really hard at trying to build up my channel and build up my social media in general. I've been doing a lot with my photography and all kinds of things, but I've also been studying editing way more. I know that it probably still doesn't look like much. I mean, the quality of my videos has gone up in terms of just the resolution. But I do have an editing program. I talked about it a little bit before, that has a ton of tutorials that again, I have like a certain allotted time that I give myself towards them. And what I'll do is I'll just shoot a random 10 minutes and just play around with that footage and see what I can do with it. Right now, I can add photos with ease. Whereas the first time it was like, oh my god, I can do this. How do I do this? How do I figure this out? And it took like an hour to add one photo to my video. Now it's like, oh yeah, no problem. Just put it here, move it here, put it at this time slot to last for this amount of time. Like, no problem. So it's like, it's one of those things where, okay, you're gonna learn this thing right now, and then practice it until you're comfortable, and then when you're comfortable, then we'll go on to trying something else. So something that I want to be doing next is I want to learn how to speed things up. Just so that, because it's really annoying having to always turn off the camera to do my brows, because don't get me wrong, I have no problem doing my brows on camera, but I tend to not talk while doing it. That's the longest part of my makeup routine, which isn't long. It's like maybe 2 minutes, because if it takes longer, I'm not here for it. Also, I don't talk when I put on my eyeliner, just because I do the whole like thing. And with my lipstick, it's hard to talk when you're putting on lipstick. So if I could speed up those moments, that'd be really great. Or if I could even just like cut out, like go from like starting to put it on to having it already on, that'd be good. That's also something that I don't know how to do, which is why my videos, my cousin always tells me that they look like they're filmed live. They're not filmed live. I spend upwards of 8 hours editing and processing all of my videos, which she was very surprised at to hear when I talked to her today. But yeah, I spend a lot of time. This one's already getting way too long. But yeah, I am actively working on so many things, but I'm here. I plan on staying. I hopefully will grow and be able to do something really cool with this. Even if it really doesn't go anywhere, I get so much joy out of just being able to go online and talk to people. And the fact that more people are slowly starting to care, I guess, because they're subscribing, they're liking, is so wonderful for me. I've been watching a lot of like smaller channels as well that have been like new subscribers and like, hey, come check me out, and that's been so great. I've loved doing that because I'm so tired of most of the big channels that are out there right now. So I've been really enjoying those little, like, I guess like ultra micro channels. I don't know, but it's been a lot of fun just seeing new people and new faces and other people that are learning and growing like me. I think it's so wonderful. But yeah, this was a weird, scattered video. I'm so sorry, but I will be back. As I said, this is definitely a pre-filmed video. I don't even know what's going up. I'll probably be filming again over the next couple of days. I do have to see my uncle tomorrow. I will probably make a dedicated video to that because that's a serious situation. I'm not sure how much of it I want to talk about, how much of it I don't. But I know that at some point I'll have to be talking about it because it's going to affect me in a big way. Alright, love you all so much. If you like this random weird update of how my mental health is doing, please hit like. If you want to continue to follow me on my journey of makeup, finding a job, getting a home, getting married, all the different weird things that I do, my art, possibly more fat cat randomly sitting behind me while I shoot, stick around, hit subscribe. I would love for you to join what I'm doing here, and I'll be back again soon. All right, bye.